All right. Casablanca. This is, I guess we can start right away. Right away with a quick appraisal of quality. This is the highest up on the list we've watched. This is what, number 4 on the list?
I thought the order didn't matter.
The order doesn't matter to us. Oh, but you mean like for no, you mean like for the AFI people? Yeah, no, it was ranked. It was ranked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Number 3.
So it's number 3. Do you feel like it's deserving of that? Like let's say a top 5, top 10. You know, everyone can quibble over plus minus a couple. Is it that good? There's not an objective answer to this. I was thinking about this myself because I think it's really great. And it's kind of, and then you start thinking about the ways that like why is this of all the really great films like gets such a high status, right? So yeah, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think that, like, in terms of just emotional vibes, without having to like rank the movies yourself in your head, do you feel like it fits in that category, top 5, top 10, or the top 100, whatever it is?
No.
Okay, good.
No,
Why?
because
Oh, I just think all those movies suck in general. Like most of that list is garbage. The only thing that would be on there is the one by Oswald Mosley. What's his name? Citizen Kane.
if they all suck, then they kind of filter each other out. So what deserves to be at the top of this list of films that suck?
Oh, obviously Citizen Kane, just to be a fucking.
And then number 3 would be.
Oh, I guess if Citizen Kane is number 1, number 3 would probably be like, I don't know, Pixar's A Bug's Life.
Well, I've seen about half of them before we started the podcast. I think of the ones I've seen, it deserves to be up there.
Yeah, I would agree.
Oh, that's because that list is garbage. But yeah, it's true. I guess that's a fair way of putting it.
Yeah, they didn't put. Here's my problem. My favorite movie ever, obviously, Citizen Kane, number 1. But number 2, there was this episode of Robot Wars in 2004.
Where's The Departed? Why is The Departed not on there?
The Departed? There's so many better Scorsese films on this list. But yes, that's the ultimate masshole opinion. Yeah, my top 5 movies, I'm going to go Departed, The Town, Fever Pitch, Pitch Perfect, which I thought was Fever Pitch,
Super Bowl,
and I was wrong, but then
video,
I did end up kind of liking it.
Super Bowl 69 with Tom Brady gets his
balls. Is there
ball
a baseball
sucked.
one that everybody in Massachusetts watches?
Yeah, there's Fever Pitch.
Oh, okay.
Ted Williams, suckingmydick.com.
That episode of Cheers where Frasier gets to the cabin on the weekend, but he can't really handle it. What a fucking pussy.
Family Guy. That's a good one. He's a family guy. Oof, that's a good song. Ever see Family Guy?
Oh, I've seen Family Guy.
Well, Casablanca probably made it into the cultural zeitgeist enough. I bet you there's a Family Guy parody of Casablanca.
Surely there must be.
Yeah. Which is part of the criteria for the list, basket.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Did it affect popular culture? I don't know if The Departed is up there.
The Departed?
I think so, dude. There's a lot of videos about it.
You're not pronouncing the name of the film right and giving it its proper respect.
Sorry.
It's The Departed.
The Departed. No, I mean, it kind of did everything well, Casablanca.
Yeah, and I think in terms of the affecting popular culture side of things, I don't know if there's a more heavily quoted movie than this one. There's a lot of big quotes, and even one of the famous quotes attributed to this movie, it's not actually in the movie, is "Play it again, Sam," which gets quoted and referenced all the time. They never actually say those exact words. It's kind of like a Luke, I am your father type thing. He says, no, I am your father, right? So she says, play it, Sam. And at a certain point, Rick might say, like, play it again, but he doesn't say Sam. You know, no one ever says, play it again, comma, Sam.
That's crazy, huh?
Okay. What did you like about it?
What I liked about it, okay, so I think one of the main things is that despite it takes place in a very compressed time frame, aside from there's a flashback sequence, right, where they're back in Paris, but aside from the flashback sequence, and the flashback sequence is probably, pound for pound the weakest section of the film, but it doesn't run that long. Despite taking place in a very compressed time frame and not having that much plot to go through, it feels like every single scene is very essential. Like, there's never a scene in this movie where I was like, oh, this is boring, or this is unnecessary, or this is not entertaining. I think that's it's a really tightly made film. And the other thing is that the performances are really good. Especially my favorite performance is Claude Rains as Renault. I think it's one of the best. Like both like for the comedy, which is big for me. Always big on the comedy. Both for the comedy though, and the like genuine kind of like cynical bureaucratic villainism. And then there's that twist near the end. I think it's a really, really effective antagonist. And it adds a lot of like the film wouldn't have the same personality if the only antagonists were, because the Nazi guy makes a good Nazi guy. He's like scary, he's uncompromising, he's intimidating, but he doesn't. There's only so much you can do with that character. And so having Claude Rains as the intermediary to be a bigger character, even though he's not morally a bigger villain, I think is perfect. It works so well.
Yeah, Bosco, do you want to say something?
Like what I liked about it? I mean, it's all right.
Well, you could go with that, but I mean, you reckon the guy was he was a bit fruity, huh?
Oh wait, who's fruity? Oh, let's see my notes.
We're talking about Claude Rains' character, the inspector, Renault.
Renault. Yeah.
He's a
Renault down at Castle White. Y'all know that fellow, Renault.
Yeah, like he's trying. Yeah, dude, he was gonna trade like a ticket to paradise or something to a man and a woman couple, and Humphrey's like, hey, he's gonna rape you, and she's like, yeah, my husband's coming too. He's like, that's very broad-minded of him. So yeah, I thought that was a nice.
So is he the most lovable rapist on cinema?
I just thought that was really nice. A nice little like addition to my whole "one was gay" question. And I do like the jab of calling somebody gay by calling him broad-minded. That's great. I mean, he is French after all.
He's like, I feel like you're trying to figure the characters out. Like at least Ilsa, Rick, and Renault. So like Renault's a bit more of a direct parallel to Rick, where you don't know whether they are as cynical as they seem.
I mean, can we just all like admit though, it's kind of weird that Mr. Bogart is like, oh, I'm gonna start being very sad because a girl dumped me. Wah. Like that was his motivation for letting people die.
Well, he was sad. He was sad from the beginning.
Yeah, no. The girl made him happy. It made him pessimistic, not sad. That's what I would argue. He doesn't.
Wait. I don't recall him being sad prior to girl.
Well, he didn't want to get entangled, right? So there's a scene where there's some other French girl.
I don't recall him being happier prior to girl, but maybe he was.
Well, he's not really portrayed prior to girl, but he discusses like what he was like with her in those scenes in Paris, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. That's called nostalgia glasses, bro. If there's no scene, I don't believe it, man. He's a proto incel. Like that's what it is. And look at that cap, dude. Look at that fedora. Look at that trench coat.
But I think the point isn't the sadness; it's the pessimism, right? So the idea is that because he thought he had this really great thing in his personal life, and then he wasn't able to make it happen. She never shows up. He can't control it. He feels that loss of agency for the thing that made him genuinely happy, and that makes him more pessimistic about, before he was volunteering in the Spanish Civil War. He was doing some other stuff that I can't remember, but he used to, he was gun running Ethiopia. That's it. So he used to be more politically active, he used to be basically as active as you can be, right? He's participating in armed political conflicts.
He was the guy, and then he stops being the guy because a girl dumps him. Ooh.
Right, because he used to believe he could make a difference, even on a societal level, and then the girl dumps him, and he realizes he can't even make a difference in his own small tiny life. I think it's a pretty believable motivation for why someone gets bitter.
I think it's stupid because they only knew each other for 2 weeks, so it's even dumber when you think about those.
Yeah,
frames.
But dude, that's the 1940s, dude. They should have been married a week ago by the standards of the time.
He's so handsome. I wish my lover was like him. Oh my god, I wish my guy was the proto incel.
He's not an incel though. He's still banging women. He just doesn't want to get entangled.
No, he's not.
That's why there's a French woman at the bar who's like, "Why do you call me?"
Yeah, at the very beginning, there's that French girl.
Yeah, he's the precursor to incelhood. That's if you talk to any fedora wearing incel from Reddit with neckbeards, they'll say Hungry Bogart from Casablanca was my favorite guy. I'm such a misunderstood guy from Noir, Las Vegas. And they're all gonna say that.
I forgot this was set in Vegas.
Yeah,
I really like that scene where Rick and Sam take a break from the cafe to go watch BattleBots. That was cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet, right?
Oh, it explains the casino scenes.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the funny little jab at race relations with Sam getting 25% of the bar or club, and then he's like, nah, it's only 10% because black people ain't worth more than 10%, is what the Arab said. That was like really funny that the way he said it, quote unquote.
I mean,
I
don't recall this,
he
but
even
okay.
said, quote unquote, this ain't no Missouri Compromise.
Right. Yes.
I don't know whether I should believe you.
Are you sure this wasn't in the Space Jam A New Legacy Casablanca scene with Yosemite Sam that you're thinking of?
I watched the one that was in color. Did you guys see that one?
Absolutely not.
I fucking knew you watched the color version. Why would you ruin the experience for yourself?
It's critically panned as a terrible colorization of a film. It ruins everything. So I decided to just watch it that way because that's the way it wasn't intended.
It's actually because the last time we had this conversation about Stagecoach, it was like, oh my god, there's a scene at night with the girl in the shadows where it's so beautifully framed and shot, and colorizing it ruins it. And now you've picked another movie with a scene at night with a girl in shadows and colorizing would absolutely ruin. It's remarkable the consistency.
But they literally produced this on purpose to be colorized for some reason. I don't know why. So anyway, this is kind of intended when you think about it.
Did they produce it? Color was mostly saved for like musicals and stuff back then because Technicolor could literally only do like 2 movies a year, and MGM would like book it out to do their musicals or whatever. This is still very early on in the history of color filmmaking. It's not until probably the latter half of the 60s that like quote unquote serious movies, pretty much the entire studio system era, if it was a quote unquote serious movie, you didn't shoot it in color. Color was for like big musicals, maybe big broad comedies, maybe some westerns. That's what color was for.
Tell me that doesn't look better.
And this looks terrible.
This looks so good.
This looks awful.
Yeah, look, I think that's a good call not to use color for serious films.
Even the Library of Congress deemed that the color changes differed so much from the original film that it gave it a new copyright to Turner Entertainment. So of course that was enough.
Yeah, it differed so much.
This is not the same film.
Yeah, they didn't want anyone to confuse it with the real Casablanca.
And another good reason for why this makes sense and why this was intended is like, this is what Bogart's son said, Stefan. He said, if you're going to colorize Casablanca, why not put arms on the Venus de Milo? He's all right. Like, just why not we do it? Like, why can't we do it?
His point is that would be ruining a work of art.
Wait, no. He's like, why should we do it? That's what he's saying.
We have the technology.
It's a genuine artistic suggestion. Yeah, I think the statue would look a lot better with arms. I don't know what you guys disagree. It looks objectively more like a real woman if you put arms on it. Therefore, it's better.
How can she not hold me if she doesn't have arms?
Oh, mama.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, those are my main concerns. Although, like, I do have some like inaccuracies that I want to comment about. Is that cool? Sure. So they mention Renault is mentioning how the Berlin was marched in by American troops in 1918, and on Wikipedia they state that's an inaccuracy or a misquote or whatever. And I'm telling, like, we already went to a misquote prior, but I'm just thinking maybe he was being metaphorical.
Yeah, I didn't read that literally. I read that as in the American Army in World War One.
Yeah, we beat you guys up. Sorry, like GG, well played. Like it's like when Trump says we're gonna fight, or we're gonna destroy the opposition. It doesn't mean actually kill them. It's not literal. It doesn't have to be taken literally. All right, those are.
But I mean, there are some. Right? So like they kind of have to play a little fast with the political arrangements to make the plot work, which is fine. But they don't. The idea that there's some like the French North Africa, like Nazi troops would be there, but it's like in some weird ambiguous zone between is this Vichy France, quote unquote, unoccupied France in the south and occupied France in the north, where there were real political differences until later on when the Germans just took all of it, right? But in order to get like, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me that like the Nazis here, but he can't just arrest Victor Laszlo. You know what I mean? Like I don't think Vichy France had that like I don't know legal right over an occupying force to like protect these people. But it kind of just has to work that way. It makes the film more interesting to have people kind of stuck in this, like, you cannot take immediate aggressive action even though you're in the same bar with a person you're hunting. It, makes it more interesting. It adds tension to the film, having these, like, bureaucratic things that probably don't actually line up in real life.
Also, would have had to make guesses for when the film would have come out.
Yeah, I mean, that's also true. They might not have good information on the ground, right? And it's not like you could go on Wikipedia and look up what was the legal situation of occupied Morocco during, And they also importantly set this slightly in the past, right? Because it's not really noticeable, but the main thing is just that this happens before Pearl Harbor. So, it puts the American mindset less explicitly already on the one side of the Allies. I mean, it's clear where Rick's, like, original sympathies would lie. At least film sympathies are certainly clear, but it doesn't make him look like a bad American or something for ignoring the war after Pearl Harbor's happened and Germany then subsequently declares war on the United States.
Do you think it's obvious? His sympathies are obvious from the get-go?
No, I think his sympathies aren't obvious from the get, but, like, it implies with his prior sympathies. Does that make sense or whatever? Like, he seemed to be very explicitly anti-fascist with his past actions, and now he's just, like, politically pessimistic, or at least outwardly presenting that. But I think it would be harder to make that believable, and also American audiences probably would have a harder time, like, identifying with him as, like, a quote unquote hero if Pearl Harbor had happened and he's like, I still don't care, right?
I don't know. He was burned for some unknown reason, and he's just in it for money. He just wants to run his bar and be neutral. But that's part of what makes the film compelling, is figuring out these characters and their motivations. And honestly, it makes it for a great rewatch. Like, once you've learned their motivations, you can kind of interpret their performances differently.
Like, I love the scene, like that scene where Ilsa finally comes to him at night, because she tries all these different tactics, right? Like, including pulling a gun on him at one point. And even when she, like, kind of, like, folds and breaks down into the, like, soft romance or whatever, you genuinely don't know is this just, like, another tactic, right? I mean, it definitely seems to imply it's genuine with what happens afterwards, but I think you can easily read that scene of, like, when she puts the gun down and starts crying, like, oh, now is she just trying to manipulate him a different way? You don't know at that time. And it is really interesting to have a film where the lead character is in, like, a very heroes and villains era of Hollywood. There's not a lot of, like, moral gray in the average film, at least at this time. Like, that they're willing to do that with their lead characters. I think that's part of what makes it great.
It didn't seem ambiguous to me, because we'd already had the flashbacks and her, like, tearing up. So, and you knew it had gone wrong whilst you're watching the flashback, right? So you're paying close attention to how she's reacting to Rick saying, "We're gonna have to go tomorrow," and she's like, she's teary-eyed, and the viewer knows, something went wrong here, and she knows that she can't go, but he doesn't. So I don't know. I think you can assume good intentions on her part, that she had genuine feelings for him. But yeah, giving it a rewatch is great, because with context, that day she's found out that her husband Laszlo was alive.
Right. And the relationship with Laszlo is really interesting as well, because even though she falls in love with Rick or whatever, and having this life-shattering discovery that he's alive doesn't necessarily change what she felt for Rick. But she does genuinely, I think, like, love Victor Laszlo, but it's no longer really a romantic love, right?
Yeah.
And that combination is also really interesting, because it allows you to have this quote unquote love triangle where nobody really feels like the bad guy between the three of them, right?
I don't know. I was a bit put off. She seemed pretty. Again, on the rewatch, it just hits different. It's like, okay, she seems pretty happy considering her husband died in a concentration camp. Like, how much time elapsed between her husband apparently dying and her just being gallivanting around with some American guy in Paris?
Yeah, I'm not sure, right? Because, okay, so if he was in Czechoslovakia, right? So this implies it's after the Germans take out German invasion of Czechoslovakia. Let's see the maximum potential gap, which would be between the occupation of Czechoslovakia and, let's say, like, I don't know, 6 months, and the fall of Paris.
There's got to be some time for uncertainty before you're like, oh, okay, he's dead.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like, I don't know, the maximum would be probably not quite 2 years. I would say like 1 year 9 months for a realistic time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when she's talking about like she met a guy and he like introduced her to loads of ideas, she's referring to Laszlo there.
Yeah, I at least think that it's pretty explicitly Laszlo, because he's a political writer and activist, right? And it's the political side of him that she falls in love with, I think, right?
Right. So she loves his intellect. He gets killed in a concentration camp. She's a little bit cut up about it, but it's just that she can't resist the American. He's just so passionate and cool that she really falls in love with the American guy.
That's true, dude. We're so fucking cool, dude.
I don't know. I'm trying to evaluate if nobody is the bad guy here.
There's no.
I mean, I think that's certainly how it ends up, because she wants to stay with Rick. Laszlo is he's kind of cool about it. He's like, yeah, I get it. You thought I was dead. And then Rick makes that sacrifice for the cause. The freedom fighting cause is more important than my like personal love interest.
That makes sense when you think about it, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody ends up a good guy. Even Renault. Like, oh man,
even Renault.
I can't get over the fact that he like coerces women into sex for the visas, but we're all just supposed to like
rapes women.
Yeah, okay, he rapes women, but by the end of the film, we're like, oh yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, but he's just so funny, dude. What about the scene where they give him his gambling winnings? He's so fucking funny, dude. But it is. I mean, I think they seed it a few times with, at least, not necessarily that he's a good guy in general, but that maybe his because he presents a very detached, like, I'm an administrator, right? And now the Germans are in charge of us, and I serve the Germans, and I don't have any issues doing that or whatever, right? But there are like a few hints in prior conversations he has with some of the Nazis where he's kind of making subtle chirps or just referencing things. Where it suggests that maybe he does feel a little more strongly about like French nationalism or French patriotism than he lets on. But he's waiting for the opportunity to express that, and Rick kind of leads him there. It's not clear if it's just opportunity or opportunity also inspiration, but that's certainly where they end up.
You think he's taking his moral cues from Rick then?
I don't know. It might. My idea is that he saw Rick as like a guy like him, right?
Yeah.
So that he kind of saw them as both like, oh, we're just like two like kind of cynical guys making the best of our situation. Like I'm running the military police and you're running your bar and gambling or whatever. And then seeing Rick do something so outwardly sentimental and also kind of like selfless in a way. And so, like, selfless.
But he's looking for that from the beginning.
Yeah.
He's trying to like he has this theory that Rick is a sentimentalist. And he's just like looking for that proof to confirm it.
Yeah, and I guess maybe some of the unexpected result there is that it's not, you might think early on he's searching for that to try to nail Rick on something, right? As like the police bad guy. And then in the end, what happens is that it actually liberates him, right?
Okay, what Bosco, I'm going to bring you back in here. What did you make of the line, Renault's line, if I was a woman, Rick would be the one person I'd go for?
Dude, that guy is like all over the place. He's very broad-minded.
Because apparently some people view this film as like Renault is gay for Rick.
Oh, no. You know what a movie that's really gay, though? The Matrix.
Okay. I'm going to go to the washroom while you elaborate. Hang on.
I always thought the movie was gay when I watched it. Not the first two, but when they're in that, like, the core of the earth. And they're all having their, like, gay-ass gothic music fest where they're all, yeah, we're music people, before they're invaded.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was the gayest shit ever.
The EDM rave, like, fuck it, we're gonna die. Time to party.
Exactly.
I can't remember what film that was. I thought you were gonna say it's gay because it's like about picking your authentic self and whether you should like live a lie.
I don't like that interpretation. It's really poor.
Okay.
If that was the case, if that's what the intent was, they did a really poor job at doing that.
Well, I mean,
I know karate.
That's what they claim. You think?
I know
think
karate. Ooh, karate. That's my authentic self. Shut the fuck up. That's it. That's it. The karate is what makes me authentic.
Well, I mean, characters had a choice whether to like, live in the lie or live in reality, even though reality was unpleasant.
Yeah, it's some pussy shit right there. I don't care what you're saying, man. Fucking call it queers and shit.
Do you think it's revisionism then? That the directors went trans and then they're like, oh yeah, it was about trans stuff all along.
Yeah, well, because the newest one failed, so they were trying to like trying to get that trans money, but that wasn't happening.
Did you watch the newest one?
No, it did really poorly though.
Did we get to the bottom of why it's actually called the Gay Tricks?
Because Bosco thinks that the dance rave scene in Zion, where they're all like partying the night before they're gonna get wrecked, is gay.
Yeah, it's pretty
people
gay.
having a good time.
Is it gay at a party? Does that mean that singing the Marseillaise is gay?
Yeah,
Marseille gay?
That was the gayest part ever in this movie too.
The Battle of the Anthems.
Yeah, I mean, it did remind me of Zulu. You guys remember Zulu?
Oh, I know the scene you're talking about where the British soldiers start singing.
So the question is, which scene came first? The 1960 movie Zulu or the 1942 movie Casablanca? which one inspired which?
I don't know. I mean, because math is hard, right? Because I guess what we have to get to the bottom to is this 1960 and 1942 BC or AD? Because the numbers can go in different directions.
Well, if you've seen the new Google commercials where they have voice in their films, we don't even know if anything is real anymore. So one could have precluded the other for all we know. And as Doctor Who says, time is a wibbly wobbly thing.
So what did you really think of the La Marseillaise scene? Because I thought that scene was great. It is kind of sappy for sure, but I really like that scene, the way it all plays out.
I think it really, for a low budget film, it really did well.
What would a high budget? They would have had a bigger band playing it. Is that?
I think you're touching upon what I'm about to say. So I literally think because of the low budget, it kept it as least campy as possible. Now, if you look at Ben-Hur, I fucking hate that movie. If they had a few $1 million less, apparently, they would have made a much better film. Because these guys basically made a low-budget film with like cardboard cutouts, and it looks way better than Ben-Hur. I'm sorry.
It does look really good, like including the even the exterior shots, like the I don't know if it's truly low budget, but it's probably like mid budget. I don't know.
It's known as a low budget film. It was not supposed to. It was a surprise hit. Like
I didn't remember that. Yeah,
it was a sleeper. It wasn't supposed to make money. Well, at least not that much money. But anyways, I think this is a better looking film than Ben-Hur. Sorry to say.
So we know at least one of the 100 would be above on the list.
Yeah, exactly. Ben-Hur's trash.
I think it's a gorgeous looking film because it uses noir lighting.
I also like the camera work.
Ben-Hur cannot.
The interior shots are pretty good. I like when they're just slowly coming into the doors, like letting you in. But they don't go for like a one take, which I guess they couldn't do it. But if they wanted to, if they could, they would have totally done it. You see they're edging you. They want to do that one take, going into the door, going through the crowd. They want to do it. They just can't do it, man.
I mean, they didn't. It was harder to move cameras. It wasn't possible to do moving camera shots, but
they're edging you. They wanted to though. They're edging the shit out of you, dude. They're edging the shit out of you.
So you like the way it looked, even though you did admit to watching it in color. Allegedly.
No, I didn't. I just stated that it's made in color. I didn't.
Oh yes, yeah. We got them, folks.
I mean, I got you guys from it too. So
we've all been got.
There is a scene they edge you with the zoom when Rick is drinking, reminiscing, and it like zooms into him, and then it like pauses, and then it decides to go forward, and it goes into the into the flashback.
So I have a question for you guys. All right, I got two questions actually. So it's the original, the actual like screenplay is called "Everybody Comes to Rick's." Mm-hmm. Do you think it's like? Do you think it inspired the title "Everybody Loves Raymond"?
Definitely.
And then my next question is: if Rick's so important to this show, where is Morty?
What's the name of the brother in Everybody Loves Raymond? What's Brad Garrett's character's name? I was gonna ask where he was.
How the fuck would I know?
What would everybody
I've never seen it. Is there a bar in it?
No.
Everybody loves
No.
Raymond? No.
No. What are they really? They're just kind of home with his parents all the time. Is he playing Ray Romano? Is he a comedian?
So Brad's Garrett's character is called Robert Baroni.
Okay.
The only thing I know about Everybody Loves Raymond is that it's super popular internationally. Like every country makes its own version.
Really?
And the Russians love the Everybody Loves Boris or whatever it's called.
What's yours called?
I don't think we have it.
Everybody tolerates Christopher.
Wait, is Everyone
Let's
Hates
check.
Chris? Is that related to the Ray universe, or just very similar?
The flashback scene reminds me of something really fun, which is that, Bosco, you've said in the past on the record, on the court documents, that any rear projected driving is terrible. And then when I've watched the scene, it starts the flashback. Not only do they have rear projection driving, but they do a transition.
Oh yeah, I saw that
between
transition. Yeah, it looked good though. It looked.
Oh, you liked it?
It looked good. I watched that. I'm like that.
Yeah, I liked it too.
That wasn't so jarring. They did a nice cut. They actually.
Yeah, they go from downtown Paris with the landmarks to the countryside or whatever.
But it was very nice. It was very nicely done.
Good too.
Yeah. You have to use I think it's called an acid fade to do it. Like you actually have to burn the film. So it's kind of cool.
If you fuck up, it's over, dude.
But the thing is, they had
copy before you try. Not allowed.
Very clearly, the guy literally just was paying attention to it. Was very anal with the scene. Because it looked good. I'm like, wait, did they just do that? I'm like, yeah, they did it. Cool. All right, never mind. Let's keep going.
Yeah, it was good enough that I zoned out for a second. I was like, wait, why is the background changed? It was subtle enough. It didn't didn't notice it.
That was good. Yeah, that was good. Yeah. So what's the British Everyone Loves Raymond?
We just heard Everybody Tolerates Christopher.
It's called The Smiths. No shit.
There is one?
Yeah, it's called The Smiths. So
Really?
It stars Morrissey, Johnny Marr,
exactly.
and Mike Joyce. Wow. I guess Morrissey's... American viewers will recognize Kate from her turn on The Office. Wait.
I think there's a Moroccan version. There is no Moroccan version. But there is a Moroccan film. Everybody Loves Tuda. A character study centered around a woman in rural Morocco who wants to become a traditional singer. Does that sound like Everybody Loves Raymond?
No.
Oh.
I would love if Ray Romano's goal is to be a traditional singer. He's like, can I I know Lee Mack from panel shows.
Yeah, that's all I
is
know from his panel shows.
is IMDb out of 5 or out of 10? I want to know if 4.6 is very good or very poor. Okay, so it looks like poor. Looks like poor, folks.
He only has a TV movie, and that was it. But the whole point of a sitcom is the sitcom. Why would you make a
I think it's probably a pilot episode that didn't get picked up.
No.
But then the studio just aired it as one-off because
But he was also a sports writer like Ray Romano.
Oh, is that what his job is? There we go. We got there.
He was just like Humphrey Bogart's job was to run guns to black people so they can create crimes for Italians.
Did you like how they were? I mean, that is one of the other big things about this picture.
Did you like the scene? Did you like the scene where the Italian tries to talk to the German guy coming and they just ignore him? Did you like that scene?
That was good. And then there's also, I think it's implied that he's doing the 0% Italian accent, but Shirley Ferrari, who's a British actor, I think, is Italian. His name's Ferrari, and he's the guy. He's running the other cafe in Half the Crime in Casablanca, and I think who's the guy that has the passes at the beginning? Is he meant to be Italian?
I don't know who he is, but he reminds me of something.
Peter Lorre's character.
Ugarte.
Yeah. Sounds like a Hungarian name. Have a look. I think that's one of the moments, though, very early on in the film where you're like, not sure if Rick is a good guy because he's doing nothing to help this.
That's what I'm telling you.
Ugarte is a Basque word. So
Casablanca.
So he's an alien.
Yeah, we don't know where he comes from.
Cotton Eye Joe.
But yeah, they have a ton of the cast is European, right? And then most of the characters they're portraying are European as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think does lend some authenticity because, a lot of these people, if they have not already immigrated to the U.S. or whatever, they might, still have family back there, even if they have, whatever it is. So it's people that were feeling the effects of German occupation on at least their neighbors. Like, for example, Sweden is not occupied, where Ingrid Bergman's from, but Norway and Denmark are. And then it also makes it interesting with, the Americans latch on it so much, but it's not that American. Of the 100 great American films on the list, we really got to have one of the lowest percentage of American cast, right? Surely. And they got it all the way up there at number 3.
You don't understand, though. At the time, everyone was American, so it's okay.
When the Americans aren't also necessarily portrayed as in, that some of Rick's
Ingrid's
waffling at the beginning, right?
Like, she literally died in England. That makes her American, dude.
No, you know what I mean? Like, you could look at some of Rick's at least outward indecision or ambivalence to what's been happening as similar to, by this point in American history, people are very on board with trying to stop the Nazis, being in World War II, whatever. The trend was not always the same, right? So there was a big isolationist movement earlier in the war, and it really only started to change over time. And there's a lot of prominent Americans advocating for isolationism, and that switch didn't happen immediately. It wasn't like, the day that Poland got invaded, Americans went from 50-50 to 90-10, right? It took a lot of time. So a lot of people watching this movie might have had the opposite opinion they have now, or just a more indifferent or ambivalent opinion similar to Rick's. But it doesn't necessarily make Americans look great in doing that.
I thought popular history is Pearl Harbor happened and everybody was on board.
Yeah, I mean, I actually saw I was in New Orleans at the National World War II Museum a handful of months ago, and they had an exhibit on the home front where it actually showed it changing over time. So yeah, Pearl Harbor, definitely a big catalyst for another big jump. But to say that the polling remained the same from, like, let's say 1936 until Pearl Harbor isn't accurate. So basically, the more the Nazis were doing, the longer the war was going on, the more the Japanese were doing as well. You had American public opinion already shifting away, even though you had like people like Charles Lindbergh and like some senators who were really vocally, they had like rallies, right? But they had rallies because they were trying to convince people. And in the long run, it was already trending towards a more interventionist mindset, and Pearl Harbor is basically what kicked them over the line to actually doing it.
What was the point of you looking at the trailer, Roscoe?
I was just gonna ask you, like, who's watching trailers back then? They don't have TVs or VCRs.
Well, they play them before the other movies.
Like, what's that gonna do? You gotta write down your date book? Oh, we gotta watch this one with the guy getting shot in Franceville. But it's dark in there. You gonna write
I don't
down?
know. They might. Well, remember, you probably also had a lot of motion picture places just had one screen at the time, right? So if you want someone to come back next week, you better make them like the movie you decided to play.
I gotta watch the trailer again. God dang. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't understand what the point of a trailer back then. They should just send out emails or something. I
don't
know. Well, I think the movie is very well timed.
Yes, it has a good timing.
It's got a feel good aspect to it. I don't know. You're saying it's not very American. You can see why with.
I think it's very American.
And the characters and stuff.
Everyone's trying to leave to America. How's it not American?
Yeah, America's like hope, and it's playing a positive role in it.
Yeah, I think that's fair for sure.
This is
America's making a sacrifice.
Like, think about it, though. This is if you think about it, like really closely, like think about the Jewish conspiracies, right? This is just a way to manipulate the U.S. public to get into the war. Look, we're gonna save the day, guys. We're the heroes. And it's like the Jews are like, yes. And they're like counting their pearls and stuff. So I think you could look at it two ways. You could look at it as like their hope, but they're also like it's manipulation by Jewywood, Hollywood doing it. Man.
Yeah, I mean they're already in the war.
They do mention like 85 times concentration camps. Come on, like where's my concentration camp counter here? Come on, man.
That's crazy. Did not mention like concentration camps that much.
They did like at least every half hour.
There was one specific character who was kept in a concentration camp, and it's pretty important to his story. So I think when it comes up,
they mention it multiple times, and not just that one character. They do say.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna go off on the Epstein brothers doing the screenplay.
Did the Epstein brothers do that? I didn't know about that.
Oh my god!
No, because
Julius and Philip Epstein.
But the screenplay was written by Murray Burnett and Joe Nelson. I don't know what you're talking about.
Is this for Everybody Loves Raymond?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Everybody loves Grix, but yeah.
One interesting thing with that is that I do think we obviously cannot have the firsthand like knowledge or experience of this, like the lived experience of it. But it's interesting, like this film with a very hopeful, positive message, and you know, in regards to the war effort. This comes out in 1942. It gets made in like, I don't know, 1941 or early 1942. This would be very different if they put this out in like 1946 as a celebration of having won the war. There was nothing to like directly suggest that the liberation of France was imminent at the time this film was put out, right?
Yep.
Do you know there's a 2019 version of this movie?
Yeah. Did you watch it, or is it Space Jam: A New Legacy?
Called it's an Indian film. I know it's an Egyptian one. The Egyptians remade the movie, I guess. I don't know.
Nice.
Isn't that crazy?
It says it generated more than 80 million Egyptian pounds at the box office, the highest in Egyptian cinema at the time.
Yeah, because Egyptian pounds is like worth like a great British pound, right? Or like 2 or 5.
I didn't even know they used pounds.
Yeah.
You didn't know that? that was part of your empire. How'd you not know that? Well, that's crazy.
It's their fault.
Well, there's a hell of a lot that used to be part of the empire that doesn't use
so
pounds.
80 million, if that right, 80 million, is his numbers right? 80 million is only 1.6 million United States dollar dues. Right, so it actually made less than the original. Isn't that crazy?
What is the average person in Egypt's income compared to the average person in the U.S. states in U.S. dollar dues?
I don't know, man. I guess we'll never know.
Yeah.
Well, I think the interesting question is, like, why did they feel the need to remake it?
Because Egyptian audiences needed to have something to look forward to, like America.
It sounds like a different film.
It doesn't sound like the same film from the
says,
one paragraph on beautiful Wikipedia.
It literally says, in the context of World War II, the film unfolds in the bustling city of Casablanca.
Yes. So the setting.
Keep going.
The setting is the same. Now, what happens in the plot? Continue.
Well, Omar Al-Mur and FIFA Orabi and Rashid and Dragon and Zozo
FIFA
and Joe, they all go to Rick's nightclub and they bet it all on 22.
No.
And Rick's like, 22 skidoo. And then they skidoo him out. Do you guys are impressed with the fact that on the roulette wheel, somehow he can roulette, it's not lucky. It's not luck-based, skill-based. For somehow, roulette is skill-based. And I guess there's like a switch where it makes 22 win all the time underneath the machine. Isn't that crazy? Do you guys not like doesn't that hurt your brain a little bit?
The people are cheating at the illegal gambling den.
Now we established that the criminals.
That Rick is running a crooked joint.
Yeah, the house always wins, baby.
Now that we established that this is a criminal enterprise, the trio's criminal activities lead them to confront the mob after a large cargo of diamonds is stolen. As tensions rise and loyalties are tested, the sea burglars, that's what they name themselves, I guess, find themselves entangled in a web of danger and intrigue, as in like getting like, passports and stuff. That's danger and intrigue. There you go. So there you go. It is the same movie. Sorry, guys. Okay. And there's a guest star of Ahmad Fahmy. And
next time, watch the movie, and then you could convince me this is the same movie.
Listen, it's a high-octane action sequence with a suspenseful plot. The film's portrayal of friendship, betrayal, and daring heist resonated with the audience. How's that not like Casablanca?
Because Casablanca is a love story.
Well, it's a Casablanca is a great.
It's not an action story.
I don't know. Is there? Let me let's Control F action into this Wikipedia. It does say there's action.
How many action scenes would you describe as there haven't been in Casablanca?
There's at least 3, maybe more.
The guys,
guy getting captured, guy getting shot, guy getting a gun pulled off on them, guy getting pulled off of them, and then
I think there's like about 1.5. There's a guy trying to run away at the beginning, and then you could maybe arguably call, it's more of a tension thriller scene, but when he shoots the Nazi commander or whatever his rank was at the end. Those are the only real like action scenes.
I mean, literally, Variety says it has action, suspense, and comedy. So what do you want to say?
Doesn't make it an action film.
It does. There's action, and it says an action film.
Is it a comedy then as well?
Yeah, it is a comedy. I think it's pretty funny. Play it again, Sam. Here's looking at you, kid. That's a funny line. You don't find
I didn't get that line at all.
Because kid means goat, baby goat. That's funny. She's calling her.
Apparently, it was just something ad-libbed from Humphrey Bogart playing poker with Ingrid Bergman.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for reminding me. So I think that actually That actually has something to do with the fact that Humphrey Bogart has like a lisp, because I have a scene where it says "get to the plane," but it sounds like he's saying "get to the plant."
I think this is a you problem. I didn't hear that.
I even recorded it. So it's like I did some research here. I did.
Yeah, it isn't. Here's looking at you, kid, which isn't really particularly
if I can find
explanative or notable on its own. So on the AFI, the separate list, they did a separate list for 100 movie quotes. Yeah. And Casablanca has the most quotes on the list. That's 6 out of the 100.
Mm.
And Here's Looking at You, Kid is the highest ranked quote on it. They have that is the number 5 highest quote of all time.
Yeah, it's definitely cottoned on. What else is in the quote list?
What else? Of course, there is the iconic ending line at number 20.
All right. Everyone be quiet. Everyone quiet. I got to play it really loud on my headset.
All right, here we go. I hope Craig can hear it.
Oh, I went too fast.
There's no way. I'll never be able to hear this.
You hear it?
Nope.
That's crazy, right?
We have at number 28 the often misnomered line, or misquoted line, which is "Play it, Sam. Play as time goes by," which is what Ingrid Bergman actually says. Round up the usual suspects at number 32.
No, look.
You guys felt that wrapped up the movie nicely?
Yeah, I thought it was good. It's a callback to the start.
Look, I'm streaming it.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
All right. Okay, I don't know if Craig can see this, but let's see.
It sounds planed. Like planed, kind of.
Planed.
Like PLANED, maybe.
Sure.
I can't believe you're streaming this off archive.org is how you're demonstrating.
That's what I do. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Okay, I've heard it enough.
I got it.
I do not necessarily believe that...
he's not saying plane, though. He's saying plane, which sounds like planet to me.
But I don't think that's a lisp. That's not a speech impediment I would describe
as adding lisp. Extra letters to things. I think it's a lisp.
Lisp?
Lisp.
It's like a tism, like a... Minecraft. Can I have a large Pepsi, please? But I missed out plane, did. That's him.
I thought lisp is specifically with S.
Yeah.
No, shut the fuck up. Impediment, all right, bitch? Are you like that better? Impediment? Okay, fucker.
Like
that?
Yeah, everyone knows he talks funny.
Yeah. So he's saying plane did. The crucial line, the one that is like, oh, boom, selling it. It's like that's what now we can roll it back a bit. Maybe instead of saying "here's looking at you, kid," he's trying to say like, "Here's looking at you, cutie," and he says "kid" because he's retarded.
And he did it on 4 separate occasions.
Yeah, because he has a really bad impediment in it.
Well, here we go. You said that was the central line, so we'll continue. Is that plane did on the line of quotes? At number 43, we have "We'll always have Paris."
No, I meant like it goes to a key part of the movie where everyone takes off, and then like all the action unfolds.
And at number 67, of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into Minded.
Guys, always ruining my Casablanca discoveries.
No, I think the Humphrey Bogart's flub of that line comes back to they didn't think they were making like a particularly great movie, but it just kind of worked out that way. Flubbed lines or no?
Yeah, number it's not unclear what he's saying either. Like, I doubt that'd be worth ADRing over. I don't think the
think about it, though.
Bad. The pronunciation is just weird.
I'm going off the list of your quotes too. So number 36 is badges. We ain't got no badges. We don't need no badges. I have to show you any stinking badges. I don't remember that at all. That movie.
For the treasure of the Sierra Madre.
Yeah, and Houston, we have a problem. Again, I don't remember that, and not all at Casablanca.
Yeah.
You guys remember that one in Casablanca?
Yeah, the one place safe from the Nazis was the moon.
No, Houston, we have a problem is from Treasure of the Sierra Madre because it was Humphrey Bogart talking to the director, John Huston.
Oh, Houston.
Yeah.
We got a problem. I get it.
The craft services that day was appalling.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. It makes sense. Yeah. All right. Is it Kraft? Like Kraft macaroni and cheese?
You mean KD? It's called Kraft Dinner. It has a
Kraft Dinner.
Yeah. KD, not Kraft macaroni and cheese.
But it's
American piece of fucking shit.
But that's what it is when they have their craft services. It's just Kraft Dinner, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
It's just a giant tub of macaroni and cheese.
That would be what I would want if I was a major motion picture movie star for sure.
Is Katie like part of Canadian national identity or something?
It's like popular in Canada. It's definitely popular in Canada.
Oh, dude, this is crazy. Okay, this is not related because Star Wars is on this list, but I want to repeat this. Ranked number 8 for most quoted line or whatever, AFI. May the Force be with you. And guess who says it?
Oh, old Ben Kenobi.
Han Solo. The one time he says it, everyone's like, he says it like the end of the movie, I think. And it's like it's been saying like every single fucking time.
I mean,
right?
But he was the cynic about the Force before then. I guess that's why it's notable, right?
Yeah, so he's the Humphrey Bogart.
He is the Humphrey Bogart of Star Wars. I agree with that.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like he wants to, but it's the reverse. Instead of him having the girl, he doesn't have the girl because the girl's with her brother. No. They're trying to fuck, but he
really is the Humphrey Bogart because he gets the love of the girl because the girl's love for the other male character changes to a more platonic form of love over time.
Yeah, and he's also like a guy that like brings like black market stuff in. I don't know the word I'm trying to look, but he brings stuff into Ethiopia. Just like
he's a smuggler.
He's a
just
smuggler.
Like Rick did in Ethiopia.
Yep. He's like. Yeah, and there's also a scene in a gambling den or whatever, or a club scene too with Han Solo. You remember that scene? Wow, it's like basically the same movie. Why did we make Star Wars? Why did we make Star Wars?
I'm looking forward to you bringing this back when we do the Star Wars one.
Yeah. Anywhere between 2 months and 4 years from now, when we discuss Star Wars, this is gonna be good. Okay, well, speaking of other pictures they made, they might have a thing or two to do with Casablanca. I watched 2 prior Michael Curtiz films, which were The Adventures of Robin Hood and The Sea Wolf, and they do actually both tie in fairly interesting ways. I don't know, did either of you happen upon watching either of these with any spare time or no?
No, but Anne Frank could have seen this movie.
I mean, this is actually good. This has to do with displaced European people.
She would have watched it though if she could, but she was too much in hiding at this time, so it isn't really not really helpful.
So The Adventures of Robin Hood, which is directed by Michael Curtiz and also technically William Keighley. I feel like when I watched this back in April, I might have remembered who did what. But the important crossovers of The Adventures of Robin Hood. So this is a very different. This is not a more morally gray film. This is a very good versus evil film. This is in Technicolor. This is a big budget Technicolor thing. A lot of costumes, a lot of giant castle sets, horses. This is a big budget Warner Brothers film. And it also has same director, the same producer, which is pretty key because people often talk about Casablanca as the refutation of like kind of an auteur theory because it's really not distinctly just Michael Curtiz's vision, right? There's a lot of collaboration, but they've also made the argument that if you had to ascribe a singular auteur to this, it might be Hal B. Wallace, who is the producer. And he also produced The Adventures of Robin Hood. And my favorite connection is that one of the best performances in The Adventures of Robin Hood is the same as the best performance in Casablanca, in my opinion, which is Claude Rains as the kind of like pseudo-affable villain, Prince John, right? So obviously, the turn at the end is very different. He does not become a good guy, or at least on the side of the good guys at the end. He's not inspired to change. He's forced to bend the knee to his brother in the end. But it's almost like a prototype performance because Claude Rains playing Prince John is the villain, but he's not. So the more openly villainous character is Basil Rathbone's Guy of Gisborne, right? So he's the much more like cynical one. And then you also have, I don't forget the guy who's played the Sheriff of Nottingham, but you have like the kind of like cowardly, evil Sheriff of Nottingham serving under Prince John. Prince John, when Robin Hood crashes the party, he wants to like chat with him at first. It has the vibe, very different tone, but the same vibe as Renault trying to interrogate Rick by just, well, let's just have a little banter and we'll figure out if we're enemies. And then even when they become enemies, he retains some amount of like, he wants to appear magnanimous and with a lot of dignity. So he can't just be hunt down and kill that Robin Hood, whatever it is, even as they're planning to do literally this to entrap him and do that. Anyways, I think The Adventures of Robin Hood is really fun. It's very like TCM. You could watch 20 minutes of this movie at a time. That's probably how I first watched it when I was a kid. Errol Flynn is obviously not really an actor. He's a really good stunt person, essentially. But that is fun. And if you like the Sherlock Holmes radio shows like I do, it's great seeing Basil Rathbone.
The Adventures of Robin Hood or Sir Robin? I'm so confused.
Yeah, it's the movie, The Adventures of Robin Hood.
Oh, they said Adventures of Sir Robin. I was like, Isn't that the name of the thing in Monty Python?
Can we check on BBC iPlayer? Oh wait, we don't have a license.
Oh wait, that kind of annoys me. Like the one thing you're good for, you can't even commit.
Well, you're not paying into it.
We would have been if you got your CIA job.
We would have been. You just had, buy us property in England. We would have
had so much.
My understanding is that downtown London property is very cheap, so just buy us each a couple houses so we can start registered and get paying our taxes to.
Why can't you just make a fake account? I don't get it. You have there are no consequences for it of just lying.
Lie about a license.
I don't know how.
The Queen in her grave will be rolling over if she heard what you've just said, mate.
You can watch all the Robin Hood content you want. We've probably got fucking 100 TV shows and movies about Robin Hood.
My favourite British actor, Robin Hood, Kevin Costner, my favourite British actor.
You guys ever see Ride 'em Cowboy? You think this is a gay movie or just a gay title?
Wow, this is early John Wayne. This is when he was real B-picture core.
Actually, we didn't talk about the code, right? Ingrid Bergman's character couldn't have left her husband for Rick.
It would be immoral to fuck somebody else, but it works better for. It kind of works better for that, don't you think? Like what we were talking about earlier. Like everyone, kind of, they don't do the easy way in some things.
It works better for her not leaving for him.
Yeah, for her both being willing emotionally to leave her husband but then agreeing to stay with her husband, because that creates a scenario where Rick has to make the sacrifice. Like it all adds up. All the things come together nicely, but not in like a super predictable way either.
Yeah, it does. But it's like they could have written off Laszlo, like he gets caught or whatever.
And then how would the cause continue?
Exactly. And that's why it's a feel-good movie.
The other movie I watched, which is a much more tacked on feel-good ending, is The Seawolf. So this is based off a Jack London novel. But part of the reason it's interesting is that the villain is more morally great, but like in a much so. Whereas Claude Rains' character Renault is more outwardly affable, but then behind he's like, extorting these women into sex, doing whatever. You don't know what his real intentions are. The Seawolf is a really gruff, violent captain of this boat, but part of the film is the protagonist, or I guess one of two protagonists, but really like the point of view character, coming to understand the villain and why the way he is and his flaws, but also like some of the good things about him, and then also watching as the villain is unable to escape his own flaws that ultimately lead to so I thought that one was really good. It's certainly much more minor than The Adventures of Robin Hood or Casablanca. Like I would probably wager not nearly the same amount of people have seen it, especially in the modern day. But I do think The Seawolf is very enjoyable. And it also opens with the song Hello My Baby, Hello My Darling, which would later get used famously by Michigan J. Frog and the Looney Tunes. So you really seen the Warner Brothers cinematic universe come together here, which takes us to Space Jam in the end. So it's a really, really valid, it's a very important thing.
I have another thing. Thanks for reminding me. I gotta find my image. Oh no, where did I put the image? I have an image that says First International Warner Brothers. Do you guys know this is the first film that Warner Brothers did that went international or national or something like that? I can't find the clip, my image. Do you guys know that?
For Casablanca?
I have an image somewhere on my computers. Yep, first movie that was on the internet. There it is.
On the internet or international?
It was the. It was the first national movie they ever made.
I see.
So everyone
I see. I see.
It was their first movie they made nationally.
The first American movie. Well, that's why it's on the AF Island.
Yeah.
America never had movies
I
before
just thought
this.
it would. Well, it was Warner Brothers' first American movie. I thought that was an interesting tidbit you guys didn't know about. I don't know. I thought that was cool. I didn't know if you guys knew that or not.
I mean, I suppose for reference, it's the end slide says Warner Bros. First National Picture, which implies First National may be the legal name or another producing house who contributed.
I don't think it's a dash.
It's a
It's a
hyphen.
hyphen.
Oh, yeah, you had me
oh,
going. You had me going. I was like, "What? How is this the first movie?"
You got befooled.
Well, maybe they just released movies in California and Massachusetts and stuff. They didn't do all 50 states.
Yeah, you're right.
48,
California and Massachusetts would be the first two anyone would consider, especially Massachusetts.
Oh yeah.
First National was an American motion picture production and distribution company. There you go. Control of First National passed to Warner Brothers in 1928. It was completely absorbed in 1929. A number of Warner Brothers were thereafter branded First National Pictures until July 1936, when First National Pictures Inc. was dissolved. But what we're hearing is that they actually kept it going past 1936. So you've proved Wikipedia wrong.
Whoa, it's those two guys again.
Isn't that crazy how it was so easy to prove them wrong too?
I think it's just they just like tacked their thing. It's still everything was branded under Warner Brothers after that. But
you ever see the Warner Brothers name? You ever see that Warner Brothers thing where they show like everyone's like characterized?
Is that Humphrey Bogart raising his fist to Peter Lorre? This is ironic because he's meant to be mogging Peter Lorre in the shot.
Yeah, that's in the Maltese Falcon, guys.
But
it's a classic.
But did you know that Bogart himself was mogged by Ingrid Bergman on set, and they had to bring him a Tom Cruise box for the love scenes?
Oh yeah, because she was like 5'8", like 5'6".
So it's very funny to watch. I mean, he might be on a box in this as well. Here's Sam Spade towering over Peter Lorre.
But he also married a woman who was also tall.
Yeah, Lauren Bacall.
That's how much.
Who I don't know if you you Bacall, but we discussed briefly.
She was in a previous movie or something.
Yeah, it was. I think it was when I'd watched Bringing Up Baby. I watched a movie that's essentially a Vibes remake of Casablanca called To Have and Have Not, where they're doing it in Martinique instead. But Lauren Bacall's in that, and that's how they met, and how Humphrey Bogart, I don't know, she was pretty young at the time, but that's how it all started.
Guys, do you ever see the resemblance between Peter Lorre and Review Bra?
Ooh.
What do you think?
I think he needs to slick down his hair more, but absolutely. If he wasn't letting those curls take control, he could absolutely be the report of the week.
Isn't it crazy how we're all just related?
All of humanity.
It is true. We only have 20,000 or so common ancestors, so you will see the same facial features.
Oh, this is like how
even if they're not related.
We're most likely related to Charlemagne, and Psyche is most likely related to Genghis Khan, right?
Hell yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. He's probably more related to Ratatouille than anything else.
To the character Ratatouille from the film Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if you guys got that one. That's the rat.
I know the one. I do like the cook.
There it is. Clear genetics.
I think I'm gonna come back to this idea in other films that we look at, but
of if you're related to Ratatouille.
No, but I appreciate that people have interesting faces in some of these older movies, like Peter Lorre, right? Not everybody is conventionally attractive.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Character actors used to be better back in the day. There's this great quote in Watchmen as well. It's in I remember it. It's in near the end of the first or the second issue when the bonus the appendix content at the end of each issue is still the autobiography of Hollis Mason, experts from under there, and he talks about the boss of his dad. His dad worked at an auto mechanic shop when he was growing up, and Hollis would come in there, and the boss of that mechanic shop, he's telling this story about this boss, but there's this line, he's like, you ever notice how people's faces go out of style? There used to be a type of face that's just not there anymore, and that's what that makes me think of. Yeah, I love the way people in old movies look, dude.
They look real, real fun.
Well, there is the German guy. There is but the good German guy. just to be clear, the screenshot that was posted is the good German guy. Oh man, now I got lost. Now I fell asleep. I fell asleep mid-sentence. It's over.
There is.
I don't know. There's faces. There's good character actors in this. There you go. Maybe I think that was the gist of it. I just had a small stroke.
Okay. That seems like a good point to end on.
Wait, don't we have a quote or something?
All right, all my Al Jolsons. All I can say is, Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Goodbye.